62,000 Christians slaughtered, guys. In Nigeria, the world is what? Silence. Open borders in Europe, deadly. And a dog walker stabbed to death in London by an asylum seeker. 4,000 children rescued from predators in America. And tonight, President Trump just declared the killing of Nigerian Christians is not going to happen. While the world sleeps, evil works overtime, but so do we. This is Glory from the Glory Today show. And this is one of the episodes that you don't want to miss tonight. We're pulling back the curtains on the immigrations crisis, the persecutions no one talks about, and the leadership that's finally saying enough is enough. Let's go, guys. Welcome. Thank you guys for connecting with us. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for, our show of Friday. And I know the show of Friday is going to sound a bit confronting some crazy issues, but bear with me for a moment because there are few topics, few points that I would like to share with you tonight. I encourage you to drop a comment in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you're connecting with us tonight, just give us a sign so we know that you are there. As we discuss this topic, I encourage you to interact with us in the chats. You know, maybe the team will be able to create a poll as God allowed with time that we have all the content that we have to show you. And I encourage you on this particular moment to subscribe, like, share with friends and family. Let them know we are here and we are ready to rumble. You know, this is a moment where I ask you to do one last thing. Put the distraction aside, go grab your coffee, your tea, your water, collect your family together, sit down, get off Netflix, Disney, and all these other socialist platform, lifeless platform anyway, and just connect with us here. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do all that. And beloved, listen, 30 seconds goes fast. So don't think 30 seconds is enough. It goes so fast. I'll see you guys in about 30 seconds. I'm so excited. At the same time, I'm a bit, I kind of say, not anxious, but my heart is just racing because the topic of tonight, as good as they are, let me say, as the positive outcomes that they are, but we need to talk about those little things that are you might not be aware of or aware of, but not in the detail we'll be sharing tonight. Welcome back to the Glory Today show. I am your host of today, and my name is Glory with the production team of the Glory Today show, and we are coming to you live from our studios here in the Netherlands, in Dordrecht. You know, for those who may not know. And if you are new, welcome to the family. Welcome. We are glad you are here. And I encourage you not to just pass by quickly, but please subscribe so that you don't miss anything. You don't miss an episode. You don't miss the revival. You don't miss the fire. You don't miss what we are building here and what is about to really take this nation by the storm. And just make sure you hit that bell button so that the notifications are also not missed. We don't do fluff. We don't do fake news. We do truth, courage, and the conversation that we have here are the conversation that matters really. So tonight's episode is going to be one of a kind, and we're tackling something that mainstream medias won't touch really. They won't touch with the 10-foot pole. They refuse to stay away from this type of content. And with a 10-foot pole, these guys are not even willing to scratch the surface of this topic, immigrations, of borders, and even the, the global persecutions of Christians that is happening all over the world. And I think by now you maybe have seen it on social media passing by because we've been making so much noise about this topic. So, but here's the thing, guys. We are just not, we're not just going to complain. We're not just going to complain. We're going to equip you with facts, with inspired hope, so that when you think about this, you're going to remember, it's going to remind you that you are not helpless. When you're facing this situation, you're going to realize that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like the Bible says, we are the light of the world, the city on the hill that cannot, will not, and shall never be hidden. He said, before we dive in even deeper, let me say this loud and clear. Myself, I am an immigrant. So let's just say, clarify that. And I love immigrants. I love immigrants. And this conversation is not about, hating on people. It's not about attacking or just bashing immigrants at all. That's not what this conversation we're having really here tonight, because we are really, how can I say, I'm trying to put this in the way that makes sense really, because it's not really about hating people who want a better life, but it's about protecting nation, talking about issues that matters to most of us, you know, protecting children, protecting the innocent from those who come with evil intent. Just because you talk about when it's bad, it does not mean you have this type of phobia, because I'm not scared of nobody. The only fear I have is the fear of the Lord. Just to put that out there. So, beloved viewers and amazing people connecting with us, I'm really going to be, I'm curious to what we're about to share and what you're going to think about it. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's have a conversation the world desperately needs to hear, the conversation that really touch the core of our value. In our first segment of today, let's start with a question that is going to, how can I say, it's going to ruffle some feathers. And what is multiculturalism really about? If you never heard about the word multiculturalism, the question we're going to ask today, what is it about, and who benefits when it is weaponized? Because today we know it's being weaponized in some shape and form. So now, before you jump to conclusion about what you think it is, let me just introduce you to someone who has lived this nightmare. Her name is Ayaan Hirsi Ali. She's a survivor of Sharia oppression, Sharia law oppression, Sharia oppression, a woman's rights activist, and one of the bravest voice on the planet at the moment. She's recently gave an interview on Sky News in Australia that has ignited outrage among Muslim migrants, of course, because of the truth. And the Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall indeed set you free. So why is she being hated, or why the outrage among Muslims are so big concerning this topic? Because she literally just exposed what many people know but don't dare to speak about. Many people understand the issue, but they just stay away from touching that topic. So we're gonna watch this first video, and I'm just really curious what you think. Please take time to listen to what she has to say, because the point she's making here, oh my God, it so matters.
If you want to invite people in from outside of Australia to settle and live in Australia and to belong, I think it's very important to have the conversation with them that this is the place you're coming. Here's what Australia is all about. And in order to belong, you are going to adhere to our norms, and we'll tell you why. But if you don't want to adhere to our norms, it's fine. We believe in freedom, but you don't get to live here.
What about the term multiculturalism? Because it's almost celebrated, particularly in places like Australia, and it's almost an embarrassment that our own old culture, in our case predominantly an Anglo culture with Indigenous underpinnings, but our own culture isn't good enough on its own, that bringing in all of these people have made us richer and better, but in some instances it's come at a cost.
I think the mistake that was made years ago was to apply that philosophy to immigrants. And immigrants who were settled in Australia and given citizenship were also told that they could assimilate or integrate on their own terms, hold on to their own identity. And unfortunately, the result of that for some of these immigrants, not all of them, but for some of these immigrants, was to form their own ghettos. Enter radical Islam, which is an international ideology that seeks to transform everywhere it goes and tries to take over control and power.
Indeed.
And the philosophy of multiculturalism empowered the Islamists into isolating Muslim individuals, convincing them that the Islamist worldview is their worldview, and that is what it is to be a Muslim. turning them against the local populations. The problem you're seeing in Australia is exactly the same problem they have in the United Kingdom, in Germany, in other parts of Europe, but we also have it in the United States. And so now I think is the time to say multiculturalism as a philosophy has failed. If you want to bring about social cohesion in a nation state, you emphasize what unites us. You don't emphasize what divides us. And multiculturalism is about emphasizing what divides us. And the way multiculturalism works is some of these communities, minorities, as they say, are to be afforded exemptions from the laws that majorities have to uphold.
Yes, and we see that in the United Kingdom too, don't we, with the debate about Sharia law, the debate about marriage to first cousins. That's been a feature of...
This is such a powerful, powerful conversation, right? Because she's not just speaking from theory. She's really speaking from a place of lived experience, lived trauma, and she's being attacked for it. Just simply because she dares to speak up. And here's what they don't want you to understand about multiculturalism. When unchecked, it becomes a Trojan horse, really. People climbing up ladders of leadership, not to serve, really not to become a representative of the people, but to position themselves where they can influence, where they can have power, and where they can implement legislations and laws and push agendas that really benefit themselves, benefit none other than themselves alone. And how do they do it? If you may ask, one may ask, how do they do these things that you say they do? See, distraction. They apply a method that called distraction. They create or they manufacture. They create manufactured outrage over pronouns, over statures, over microaggressions, while the real evil really is happening in the shadows, where you have no preview because you are so distracted by all these so-called issues that have been perpetrated or even created by this entity. So most of the things that we're seeing happening in the society today is not anymore a coincidence. It's not anymore things that you might say, oh, there was an accident happened. This just is not natural. Most of the time are fabricated. Like today, I wanted to bring that segment here today. Was in a video of an AI video that I saw, and I thought we'll not have time to talk about it. But today, for you who love to watch shorts, you go on the social media and you love to watch this video short. Do you understand that it's almost impossible today to understand what short you're watching? Is it a real story or not? It could be a pastor preaching. It could be a family, something happening. Somebody falling in. It could be as simple somebody falling in the pool. A child running. A dog playing. There's no way to know anymore what is real and what is fake. Okay, let me don't say there's no way to know, because there is always those of us who have analytic eyes, we're able to really depict and understand like, this is not right. Because most videos today are AI, people creating AI. Content creators today have become lazy, so lazy that they don't even know, go out there, have some creative ideas that they implement, but they just go on air, they write a storyline, the AI just produces a video for them, and they post it on social media, and it goes viral, and they have views. Motivational speakers today. You hear a motivational speaker on Instagram, you're watching the video, you get, your emotions get touched, you're like, oh my God. And then you find out it's not even real. It's an AI. There's a little short video I saw on YouTube today as well. The same type of situation. And in the comment, you're reading in the comment, people are crying and tearing down because of this video. It was of a dog. The owner was like walking on the car in the garage, and then the car fell down. And then the dog started barking before the car fell, and then the car fell down, and the dog jumped on the owner and hugged him. And everybody in the comment, oh my God, that last hug. Because even most of the comments we see today in the comment section of many streams, many live, many videos are not real. Most of the time are robots, are just bots that have been put in place. And then people will start typing in comments to trigger reaction from other people so they could type in comments. And then you find it's just crazy how manipulating a society has become today. It is upholding. It's really, really, really crazy. So they manufacture this distraction, this outrage, just to create an illusion that will keep you distracted while the real evil happens in the shadow. Child trafficking, open borders, the erosion of national sovereignty. All these things are happening around us. We are busy just running after life. We are busy dealing with things that don't even matter anymore. Here is your punchline for the night, for tonight, for you to understand. Uninformed people, unfortunately, make an informed decision. And an informed decision select or elect, unfortunately, evil people with self-centered plans, with self-centered ideas, with self-centered vision. So let me ask you tonight, what is the point of having a borders if you don't have a strong border policies? That's my question to you. What is the point of having a border if you do not have a strong border policy? It's like having a front door with no lock. You're just inviting chaos. You wake up in the morning and you're hearing noises in your house. Why? Because everybody knows that that house has no lock. That house is just open for everyone. And those who are pro-open borders, maybe you should go and demand keys to their houses and throw them away. And it's like, just keep your house doors open, that anybody pass by just can enter and come in and just help themselves. Of course, they will not accept that. Nobody want that. Really. Speaking of chaos, really, let's talk about what happens when borders are weak and leadership is even weaker. Because weaker leaders creates a weak borders. Let me say this. A weaker leaders creates a weak foundation. That's why you're seeing what's happening in the world today, what's happening, especially in Africa. In Africa, we have this problem of a border. And the borders in Africa, they are just not strong. And where there's a border security, they are so corrupt more than dogs. I'm telling you, at least a dog, you can give it a treat before you can manipulate it. But some of these people, you just have to promise them a treat and they're willing to open the border for you. I'm telling you, trafficking thrives in open borders. We cannot deny this true. Trafficking thrives in open borders. Why? Because there is no way to control what comes in and what goes out. Predators know this very well. Cartels know this. Terrorists know this very well. There is no way for you to control what enemy, what situation is entering into your nation. My God, how would you know who is in your house when your house door is always open? How do you feel safe and secure? And if you go to the police and say, my house was, you can't even say it was broken in because it was open. So you have to say my house was entered in. So why are we, I cannot say we are, but I'm just saying, like, why is it so that our leaders want to sell us the ideas of open borders when themselves, they don't even dare to leave their gates open? They're living in these mega houses with a big gate, fences, and all those dogs and security around it. But then they want you to promote or to vote for an open border society. Lord have mercy. But here's the good news, guys. The good news is finally that FBI Director Kash Patel just dropped a bombshell, and he announced that something really that should be a headline news everywhere. But obviously, we understand that anything that to do with the administration of Donald Trump does not make headline because, how can I call them? The swamp are not always pleased with whatever Mr. Trump is doing in the office. So, what Kash Patel was able to announce in this Operation Restore Justice, it is such a powerful news that I really could not hold but to share with you guys tonight. So let's check this video out, y'all. It's really a powerful video.
Fentanyl is enough. Effective. 1,500 kilograms of fentanyl is enough to kill 115 million Americans. 115 million Americans. Cops are getting after it. The FBI has arrested 19,000 people this year alone. Thanks to President Trump's administrations, that's double than where we were this time last year. And we have also arrested 1,600 people who have committed violent acts against children. 270 of them are human traffickers of children. Mr. President, this is what happens when you have great leadership at the Attorney General with Pam Bondi, your administration's priority of protecting the homeland and protecting American citizens and protecting our children, and the murder rates are plummeting. We are now able to report that the murder rate is on track to be the lowest in U.S. history, in modern recorded U.S. history, thanks to this team behind me and President Trump's priorities. And how do we do it?
4,000 children victims rescued, 1,600 predators arrested. And Kash Patel said, no predators is out of reach anymore, and no child will be forgotten. That's just crazy because we know that the previous administration, what happened? What happened with the previous administration where children just disappeared like that? Nobody knew where the children were. The children just gone, disappear into the system. And this, they're telling you here, 4,000 kids rescued. That's something to celebrate, really. I mean, that's something that really blesses my heart. It makes me really excited. Because stories like these, guys, are the story that brings hope, that gives you that sense of saying, okay, despite all the shenanigans and all the crazy things happening in the world around us, oh, God is working it out. One thing I know, one thing I found, that God is in control. God is in control. And that, my friends, is what leaderships look like. That, my friend, is what it means to have strong founded leaders. That's what happened when you prioritize the innocent over political correctness, over views, clicks, and likes, and monetization. That's what happened, really. Now, listen, let's bring this home a little bit. There is a pastor in America who understands something profound about borders and pledging an allegiance. Because this idea of pledging an allegiance, I mean, I think in the Western world, in the Europe, we don't understand this, or even in Africa, maybe we understand it gradually, but not really in detail. Pledging an allegiance, it's such a powerful ritual, you might say, that the way this pastor explains it, it just makes you feel like, why does my country doesn't have this? Listen to this one.
He's 100% correct. Check this out.
There's a reason why American citizens should pledge our allegiance to the flag that represents our nation. One nation under God. You know why the borders should not be open? I ain't running for nothing. I ain't looking for nobody's votes. I'm not in anybody's party. I don't need it. I'm free. I work for Jesus.
Come on.
The reason the borders need to be closed is because when you come into a sovereign nation and you don't pledge your allegiance, it's treasonous. When borders are open for anybody just to walk in and they are not required to pledge their allegiance and to give a commitment to one nation. So the first problem when they don't pledge their allegiance and they come across the border, they bring their own nation with them.
It's not one nation anymore.
So instead of being America being one nation, we become 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 different nations. And you're sowing division and discord into this nation because the people have never made a pledge to understand that even though we come from every nation, when we're here, we're one nation.
God bless this man.
Indeed. Listen, yo, this is one of those things that just makes your heart boil, because we are seeing what's happening in Europe at the moment, right? We're seeing all the discord, all the fight between left, right, and center, where there's a group of kind of say patriots fighting for the right of their nation of existence, and you have now the other side a group of liberal who are fighting for the immigrants, you know, and it's they all have a good point, really, to be honest with you. They all have a good standing, but it's only like the problem is that it often is coming from a place of a deception, because there are power at play, power at hands that instigate this type of behavior, whereby it's not benefiting the people, but it's just there to cause discord, to cause a conflict, to create chaos. And we understand already in this show that where there's a chaos, there is no what? There is no strong foundation. There is only a road that leads to destruction. So we need to ask ourselves a question sometime. All this manifestation we're seeing happening, where are they? Who are they benefiting, despite the talking points? When you look at the core of what he's talking about, because pledging an allegiance, it is the way he explains is just so powerful. Because listen, I think I'm just going ahead of myself here, because there is a reason why America pledged an allegiance to their flag, because one nation under God is not just a patriotism act. But it's a covenant. It becomes a covenant that you enter in. It's saying, I am all in. I am here. I came here in this nation to look for better life. I came to better my life. I came to be with my family. Whatever the reason you went for is, because it's going to better your life. Because if it's not going to better your life, you might as well just stay where you are. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not here just to take. I'm here to contribute, to honor, to protect. Really, even heaven has border. You need to understand that. You cannot just walk into heaven. The angel's gonna, if they're not gonna use the sling of David, they're gonna smack you silly with the, not to cut off your head, but with the side of a sword. It's gonna, you hear like a sword slap. Have you ever get a sword slap? Just like that. You don't just walls into the kingdom of God and here I am from Palestine, and I'm coming to have my innocence taken away from me. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't work. Yeah, I'm coming to claim my 300 virgins. My name is, and I killed some people. Listen, if there is no vetting process, heaven wouldn't be the heaven that it is, that we all are running to be into. If there is no vetting process, this is just a common sense. I understand in many places the common sense are just left through the window, just jump out into the water and went into Amsterdam or something. But for you to go to heaven, you have to go through border security. They're going to double check your passport. They're going to scan it. They're going to put a light and shine a light to it deeply. That's how much God prioritizes having the right people into his kingdom. The kingdom of God is not just a matter of you go and claim the 40, 30, whatever, 300 virgins that you think you have. That's not how it works. If heaven has borders, what about our nations? Me, I will ask those leaders who are pro open border. I'm telling you. You cannot just go into the kingdom of God and start imposing your own rules and stuff. Me, I come from Iraq, and Iraq, we demand that all women cover themselves with blankets from toes to tail. It doesn't work like that. There are rules and regulations. There is a Bible, And you can see the Bible as a constitution book. A Bible is a book that is how can I say, it has the rules and regulation on what you need to inquire for you to have access to the kingdom of heaven. You cannot earn it. It's literally by grace. God is telling you, believe. There are simple and clear instructions in that book. There is a assimilation to God's culture that is required. If heaven requires it, why shouldn't our nations, why shouldn't the Netherlands, why shouldn't the US requires it? Which country really that says anybody is welcome? Just come and have your way. Come as you and stay as you and do whatever you do as thy will. No nation has that kind of argument or mentality, because once you do have that, you cease to be a nation. You become a Bustine, you become a desert, you become a wasteland. Anybody can just come in and go out as they will. You become a prostitute land. I'm telling you. When you enter a sovereign nation without pledging an allegiance, it is treasonous, he says. That's so powerful. You can't fully assimilate if your heart is still loyal to the place you left behind. Can I say it's impossible? It's nearly impossible. Let me say it that way. You can't. You can't fully assimilate if your heart is still loyal to the place you left behind. Or even worse, to an ideology that opposes your new home's values. Where you come, you're running away from Sharia law because it made the land you used to live in unlivable. Now you run into the Garden of Eden, so to speak. And then you say, since I arrived here, I realized that we do not practice Sharia law. My friend, let me tell you one thing. This is a secret. The border is wide open for you to get out. You can get out the way you want, but coming in, that's a different story. Because when you allow that, think about this. Chaos, division, destruction shall be imposed to you. You will not even know what to do with yourself. You have people talk about sleepless nights. Some of you don't even know what it means to have a sleepless night. I'm telling you, you continue prostituting your land like that. Maybe the name of your country should not be UK, should not be America anymore. It should just be a red light district. Which country are you from? Hey, this is my parcel from the red light. Okay. I'm telling you. Yeah, there must be some level of common sense, really, when you think about this open border shenanigan. God didn't tolerate Lucifer's chaotic ideas in heaven either. When Lucifer came with this prostitution type of a behavior, everybody's equal. He want to equalize himself with God. God said, my friend, I don't know what this is you're trying to, but God dealt with it very fast. And he even thought even though it was a brief idea that did not last long, I'm telling you, just that's the simple fact that it was tolerated just a little bit. It was enough to cause 1/3 of the angels to be deceived and leave the kingdom of God. Think about that, yo. When you entertain evil, when you entertain political, idiotic, evil agendas, the impact of it is severe. I'm telling you, it's so severe. Lucifer entertaining that thought just for a little bit. Because you have to understand God is holy. God cannot have evil around him. So as soon as evil comes, immediately get rejected. So that just that millisecond that Lucifer was able to entertain that evil idea, it was enough for 1/3 of angels to be influenced by it and leave heaven. That's just crazy. That's just mind-boggling. 1/3 just followed him. Followed him where? In destruction. Followed him where? in the place of chaos. Followed him where? In the place that is unlivable. Now he's busy trying to corrupt also the rest of humankind to follow him. And of course, as idiotic as people can be sometimes, people are believing him, are going with him. That's the price of a divided spirit, a spirit that refuses to pledge an allegiance to one God, one nation under God. And that brings us to a tragedy that happened just yesterday. Actually, it did not happen yesterday. That just happened sometime back in London. And this tragedy is really one of those things as well that we cannot just pretend is not happening because how uncomfortable it is, guys. We have people all around us who are dealing with tragic situation that you can't even imagine. And this is just a reminder to us, like sometimes you think you're going through the most until you hear the story of somebody else next to you. And they tell you, like, hey, my friend, last night, what happened? And you wonder, yo. And this morning I did not want to come to work because I just feel like going to work. But look at this man. Not only that his car broke, but it started raining and he decided to walk all the way to here. And here it is. I'm telling you, in West London, a 49 years old dog walker named Wayne Broadhurst was stabbed to death. A 45-year-old man also fighting for his life with life-changing injuries. A 14-year-old boy was also stabbed. 3 people. The attacker, an asylum seeker from Afghanistan. Now, you have to understand, this is what creates some kind of agony into people's hearts. When people are doing things like this, you do something like this to somebody in the neighborhood, and then you come into that neighborhood later on. My name is Muhammad. I'm coming to start a shawarma shop. And the people reject you. You don't understand that their pain has nothing to do with you as a person, but it has to do with those who represent the same culture as you are from, who came before you, and they poop in the water that the people drink from. I'm telling you. And then you come, you want it to be accepted without first trying to understand the history of that place and try to also connect with the people from a place of understanding that everybody, just because you come from the same place, it doesn't mean you think or you act the same way. I understand this. But one thing also I understand this, as much as I want grace from people is as much as I have to be willing to give grace. I'm telling you, this community has already experienced 3 murders. And now this. And if you listen out to this video of this lady describing her experiences, describing the fact that she's close to this scene of what happened, it's one of those cry. She make a plea to the Prime Minister of the UK. I am a law-abiding citizen, she said. I've never broken a law in my life. What in the world did I do to deserve this? Listen.
Oh, I live in the borough right next to Hillingdon.
Yep.
And I moved into my house in 2019. My local shop, there's been 3 stabbings, 1 murder since then.
Wow.
My friend was murdered last year up on the high street. Girl I know was murdered in Southall Park. The government are failing us. I'm so scared for my children.
For me.
I have a 22-year-old son, and I'm begging him to move out of the country.
Oh my goodness, I feel for you.
What are these politicians doing to us? They're putting our children in so much danger. They're putting everyone in danger, and they're not doing nothing to help us.
And that's the thing a lot of us feel. How many is too many?
They're pushing us to do something that we don't want to do. We are peaceful people. British people never revolt against their government.
Yeah.
They're going to push us to it because they're not listening to us. Our friends, our family are dying. I had a cousin murdered 20 years ago who was stabbed to death, and nothing has changed, Julia.
I'm so sorry, Sarah. I'm sure I speak for everyone listening and watching right now. My heart goes out to you, and that's the reality.
I don't leave the house without a man.
You're that worried.
Well, everyone I know is getting stabbed. They're getting raped in parks. This is where I live, not where the politicians live.
Do you think that's part of the issue, that they don't live in the real world?
Keir Starmer, if you're listening to this, please do something. I'm petrified. I've never broken the law in my life. I've been a law-abiding citizen. I've been a civil servant. Please do something. It's us that are dying on the streets. You talk about being racist. We're not racist. My sister's mixed race. Yeah. I was a white child brought up in a mixed race family. Yeah. Nothing to do with race.
Exactly.
To do with our safety.
Sarah, I mean, 100%. We agree with you every single word, and I'm so sorry. I'm sending you a big hug over the ether, and I'm sure everyone else is.
Guys, this is just heartbreaking. She's being victimized by a system that prioritizes political correctness over her safety and that of our community. You hear the cry in her heart. You hear how she speaks with that, man. And then you see men, gentlemen going on the street to protest against this. Because when you're a brother, you're a sister, you're a husband, you're a son, you hear your mother, your sister, your wife talking like this, it makes you want to do something. That's why she said we are a peaceful community, but they are forcing us to do something. You remember the way we started the show tonight? They instigate an issue to provoke you into a reaction, so that after that reaction, they can come with another action to say, because you reacted like this, we're going to impose this regulation. And they call you now, you are the one become a law breaker. You become suddenly a criminal because they poke you, because they poke your loved ones, and they just want you to bend the knee and say, that's okay. They want you to first to give the other cheek. It is crazy. They have no humanity, no meter for personal distress. It's absolutely cruelty to another high level. Let me just be clear for a minute. This is not a battle against immigrants. Listen, obviously, I am an immigrant myself, so good luck with you trying to label me somehow. But this is a battle against illegal immigrants. Those broom flyers, immigrant type of people, illegal immigrant who comes with ill intent into a nation that offer them goodness of their hearts on a silver platter, but yet they refuse to assimilate. They refuse to assimilate, who want to improve their values. They want to impose their values on a nation that doesn't share them. They come with an attitude of ingratitude. That's the evil people that are destroying the world. And this is not just about the UK, the Netherlands, the US. We're saying this in Africa. We're saying this everywhere. This is like that evil agenda coming into a church. Imagine you go on the street, you grab some broom flyers who are out there, you bring them into your house thinking you have a gentleman who's in need. But the moment they set foot into your house, they start poisoning your water by pooping into it. They start destroying your house. They have no respect for nothing. In fact, they're imposing you to live your life with your family their way they want you, so that you can be able to accommodate them and make them feel okay. That's the nation. That's the world. That's what the world has become today. And you have these political people who want to be politically correct, so much so that they do not take actions anymore. Many of these individuals are being empowered by powers with deeper plans, powers at B. They are deployed like NPCs, non-playable characters, to cause problem, to overwhelm the system, to turn neighborhoods into war zones. Really, to torture neighbors and turn them against one another. Family against one another, friends against one another, betraying each other, manipulation. There are people comes in surrounding, they look so innocent, they're acting all like this. But beware, the Bible says, of wolf in sheep clothing. And then, when the chaos reaches a boiling point, those same powers swept in with solution that benefits who? You think it benefits you? Nope. Benefit no one else but themselves and their generations. Only that. We saw this in Libya, guys. We are seeing this in Europe at the moment. In the UK, in the Netherlands, a little mildly by hey, God forbid. But we're seeing it, especially with the elections of the past, what the people vote for. That's just insane. And we are seeing this in Africa as well. So the question is, when is enough going to be enough, yo? When do we say, okay, guys, let's just change our ways, okay? Because this way is not working. So let's just talk about Africa for a moment here, because since we just touched ground on Africa, specifically, let's talk about what's really happening in beneath the surface in Africa. Ibrahim Traoré. If you don't know who Ibrahim Traoré is, you can see him on the poster, on the thumbnail, on the my left side, your right side of Donald Trump. That's the president of Burkina Faso. That's the president of Burkina Faso. And this man recently said something that should be echoing around the world massively. Something that is profound, something that we need to hear leaders speak about when it comes to our nations. Leaders who are transparent, who speak the truth. Ibrahim Traoré. Check this out.
Les terroristes, ils sont renforcés par beaucoup de combattants étrangers qui viennent d'ailleurs, qui ne sont pas en fait, quand je prends le cas du Burkina, il y a beaucoup de criminels qui sont au Burkina mais qui ne sont pas burkinabés. Il y a aussi des formateurs qui viennent de beaucoup de pays pour les apprendre beaucoup de techniques.
Mais quel est leur intérêt?
Mais ce n'est pas du terrorisme en fait, c'est de l'impérialisme. L'objectif pour eux, c'est de nous maintenir dans une guerre permanente, qu'on ne puisse pas se développer et continuer à piller nos richesses. Aujourd'hui, les terroristes utilisent des drones pour faire le combat et tout. Donc, ce sont des professionnels venus donc, de certains pays qui viennent les apprendre tout ça. Tout ça, c'est pour continuer à nous maintenir dans une situation d'insécurité. Mais nous prenons la mesure de la chose, nous nous adaptons à chaque fois à leur mode d'action et nous continuerons le combat jusqu'à récupérer l'entièreté du Sahel. Regardez dans les discours, même le président français, toujours dans ses discours, les jeunes africains sont influencés par la Russie. Il le dit, les médias occidentaux, vous les écoutez souvent, ils ne passent leur temps qu'à mentir. Et regardez aujourd'hui l'AES qui est un modèle qui est en train de se dessiner. Ils ne peuvent pas se lever du matin au soir sans parler du Burkina ou parler de l'AES. C'est impossible pour eux. Et chaque fois, ils cherchent à envoyer des informations pour diviser, pour manipuler la jeunesse. Mais ça ne passe plus. Je pense que les gens sont assez conscients, les gens ont l'œil ouvert.
That's powerful, what you say there. It is not terrorism, it's imperialism. Their object is to keep us in a permanent war, prevent us from developing and continuing to explore our resources. That's just a mic drop moment right there and then. It speaks about how the Western is busy creating agendas against the development of Burkina Faso. Macron, qui est con, always busy cooking some sauce and putting some poison in there, trying to feed it to the African people to create again division. This is what really happens in Africa, guys. Foreign agents are causing unrest. We saw this in Congo. They're keeping nations destabilized so that they can continue to extract lithium, cobalt, oil, gold, you name it. Busy with that continually. Because they know as soon as Africa stands strong, secure its borders, you see, Border again, continually coming, because as long as the border is not secure, you don't have a nation. You don't have a nation. You have a swing house. You just have a red light district house. See, how much does Africa need the world? How much does Africa need the rest of the world? If you think about it. How much does Africa need the world? Now, if you just flip it, how much does the world need Africa? Ask the same question and flip it. How much does Africa need the world? Flip it around. How much does the world need Africa? The answer is obvious. We cannot deny it. Simple fact. The answer is right. The answer, first of all, the answer is in front of us, so we can't really just go. Too much. Africa is the treasure chest, and the world is just silent about it. Because as long as the world refuses to acknowledge Africa as the treasure chest, the world will continue to steal from Africa, continue robbing from Africa. Africa is a treasure chest, and the world is just the thief that are just coming continually taking from Africa without paying their due. And then they dare to call Africa a second world. My God. A third world, second world. They want to scrutinize a country that they depend on, a country that is fueling their survival. And now while all this exploitation is happening, Christians are being slaughtered. And the world is just being silenced. Why? Because if they speak, they know people will not take it. They want to destroy all those rebels. And those rebels are there to represent their values. As soon as the rebels leave, these people are not able to steal anymore from Africa. That's why it is. It's all a game. It's all a game. And in this next segment, as we're moving forward, let's just get specific. Nigeria is a country that has been designated of particular interest by the US. Why? Because 62,000 Christians have been slaughtered by radical Islamist terrorists. 62,000 people. Just like that. Just because you don't like them. And just 2 days ago, November 5th, 12 more Christians were slaughtered near Jos. This happened hours after President Trump designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern for religious freedom violation. Just few hours after that, they went and killed 12 more Christians. Listen to this. This is crazy, guys. This is what's happening in Nigeria at the moment. This is what's going on out there. Where is the outrage, really? Where are the hashtags? Where is CNN? Where is BBC? Where is Al Jazeera? Where is the BLM? Where is Greater? Where is the Black Lives Matter movement? You think about it. Cricket, all of them. Cricket.
It's very sad for us. We'll find time to talk. It's not the time to talk now. Ama, muyilura, muzuma masuwayo, muzuma masuhikima.
What's going on? Why is he so much silent? Why nobody's talking about this? And here's what is even more heartbreaking if you think about it. Some Nigerian pastors are denying this is happening. They go as far as saying this is not true what's going on because the government of Nigeria doesn't want to accept that genocide is happening. And this pastor just denying this is even happening. But thankfully, oh God Almighty, not all of them, a few pastors. Pastor Well Adefarasin, General Overseer of Guiding Light Assemblies, is asking the hard question, but his hard questions are interesting. I don't want to fill in the gap for you. I want you to make up your own decision on this. So let's cue this video.
40 years that I have been a Christian, there have been killings in southern Kaduna, killings on the plateau. There have been riots. Sometimes, I think it was in France, an image of Prophet Muhammad was defaced. Who remembers that? And as a result of that, there were killings of Christians in Nigeria. And so it's nothing new. It doesn't amount to genocide. The way the West are talking about it, it's as if a Christian steps on the street, his head will be blown off. And I'm trying to understand this sudden love for Christians. Is it because we now have one of the largest refineries in the world and no longer have to ship raw materials abroad and bring the finished products? Or is it because of the 21st century minerals that we now have in our earth that they use to generate nuclear power for electric vehicles? Are those the reasons that our friends are threatening to invade our country to defend and protect Nigerian Christians? Selah.
Think about it. See, this is the thing. It is because it says we now have the best refinery in the world. It is because of our lithium. And I am a firm believer. He is right to ask his questions. The West doesn't get involved, indeed, unless there is something in it for them. We know that. But I'm just tired of the shady deals happening under the table. So, because when you start asking questions like this, as a man of God, while the same breath you decide to deny that genocide is not happening in Africa, it begs questions. Listen. Hey, Lord have mercy. This is the man of God here. So it just begs a question. Who's paying your electrical bill? Because you cannot deny the rest of the world is seeing this. People are documented. We're in day and age where you cannot just make a claim without facts or information to back it. You can't. We are full of evidence. But there's a voice of courage even rising up despite this denial of what's happening. And the Catholic Bishop Godfrey Ona of Suka Diocese also took time to speak out on this particular issue, just to give you a little bit more context, our precious viewers, so you understand where we are going. Check this out.
A number of things Christians have suffered in this country can be compared to the crucifixion of the Lord. Do we talk about the takeover of all Christian schools, all mission schools by Nigerian government? They took over those schools, destroyed them, turned our educational institutions into houses of formation of criminals and mediocres. People who can't write simple letters, who can't speak any language correctly, who can't solve their own problems, and won't pass any exam without cheating. And that is like crucifying, because that is a house. The school is a house of formation of character. They have taken the body away. They have removed all signs of his death. Since after the takeover of schools, who has the correct statistics of the number of churches that have been burnt down in this country?
Yep.
Who knows how many Christians have been killed in this country because they are Christians? Some right inside the church. Some will tell you these are criminals. They are not just targeting Christians. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
How many of those who perpetrate these crimes have been arrested and prosecuted? How many of them are in jail? How many of them have faced the death penalty? The Catholic Church is against the death penalty. I'm talking about Nigerian law. But we know that if anything happens to some of those who perpetrate this crime, either in self-defense or in resistance, the government stands up. There is outrage everywhere in all levels of government.
Correct.
This selective outrage of government, this selective outrage of the police, of the army, of the security agencies, when innocent citizens are massacred and when criminals are repelled and in the repelling they die, this selective outrage is like, it's not only that they have killed him, they have taken the body away. They want to wipe off every trace. And some Christians are being provoked legitimately to react. Anytime any of them reacts, they are said to be taking the laws into their hands. But all those who trample the law with their feet, trample upon the law. They kill, they rape, they maim, they sack farmers, they harvest crops of farmers and feed it to their cattle. And when you say no, why are you doing this? It is death. And when they do that, they record it and post it to government to see. If you ask them question, you are killed. If you chase them away and while running away they die, you'll be condemned to death.
Come on. A Nigerian pastor, like Pastor Abomi, are calling out the faithless pastor who denied the genocide. Because you have to understand that you cannot just deny. When you have pastor like this, like Pastor Godfrey Ona, who is speaking against this act that's going on in Nigeria, really, on a massive platform, and then you have people like political leaders, and then you have this next video, just play it. I don't even talk too much about it.
There's a lot of distortion going on. People claiming that there is no genocide of Christians in the nation. Information with facts can never be thwarted. You see people buried in hundreds and you say there's no genocide. What a wicked set of people. Agreed, there are people killed in other places for other reasons.
Set of people.
But this one is very clear. And gradually is eating down to the south, southwest, southeast, and many so-called leaders for their personal interests are claiming it's not true. Selling out their faith if they have it at all. Jesus said, when I come, will I find the faith? And we are standing here to say to Jesus, the faith will keep standing. Raise your voice in a few seconds. Father, strengthen the brethren.
So
strengthen the faith.
And there is this as well, a Nigerian pastor, Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo, and many of you have seen his video passing on social media because of he's been an advocate of the Christian persecution in Nigeria, and he's begging America for help. He's begging America because his friend, a reverend, was just slaughtered along with his family. Calling out to America for help. Guys, what's happening in the world is crazy. There's situation happening in Africa out there you can't even fathom. So please, let's don't take this for granted. Let's play this next video.
Please stand for us. We are dying.
This video is very emotional.
Yesterday, one of my colleagues, Reverend, was slaughtered with his wife and his children. He has nobody.
Everybody, we are now ready to do the last prayer. We have nobody to stand. Women are dying every day. Men are dying. What do you want us to do? Please, please, I'm begging you. Please, stand for the helpless. They have no.
You hear the cry, yo. You hear the cry. Listen, guys, this show is not really that somber as it seemed. There is a light at the end of this tunnel, okay? There's a point where I'm showing you all this. The men say, we are dying, America. I beg you, please save our lives. This is a genocide committed in the name of religion of peace. A genocide committed in the name of religion of peace. How can you qualify that as a peace? U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville is one of the few American leaders speaking on this topic. One of the few leaders was standing up and saying, also Senator Ted Cruz also spoke on this one. So when you hear from the senator, he also gives you encouragement that the world is now listening and they're taking action. Please cue the video. Come on, let's go.
You also won't hear from Democrats about how radical Islamic terrorists are currently carrying out a mass genocide of Christians in Nigeria. Think about this. More than 62,000 Christians have been slaughtered since 2000 by radical Islamic terrorists in Nigeria. You heard that right, 62,000. And just this year alone, more than 7,000 Nigerian Christians have been murdered because of their faith alone. You can't turn on the TV without hearing about Israel's so-called mass genocide of Palestinians every day.
Every single day.
And yet when it comes to 62,000 Christians being slaughtered by radical Muslims, it's radio silence.
Cricket.
This extreme ideology is straight from the pit of hell, and it has no place in American society.
He said this extreme ideology, let me call it this extreme idiocy is straight from the pit of hell, and it has no place in the American society. Let's go. Bravo. And now, guys, as we move forward in our next segment, and just, by the way, be praying for those who are being persecuted. Pray for them. Bring them into your prayer. See, as we move forward now in this next segment, it's important for us to understand that the moment that changed everything came when the president, Donald J. Trump, spoke, and he was not playing games. He spoke directly over the situation and he said, enough is enough. It's time to take actions. Listen, guys.
Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands and thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. That's a legal definition. When the Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide. What horrible numbers. Something has to be done. I am asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and to report back to me. And I mean, like, immediately.
Like
the United
yesterday.
States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. It's not only Nigeria, it's all over. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. This is not going to happen. The killing of Christians is not going to happen.
The killing of Christians is not going to happen. And this is not only for Nigeria, this is also for many other nations that are experiencing segregation, really, that are experiencing this type of atrocity against them. The killing of Nigerians, the killing of Congolese, the killing of Zambian, Mozambique, whatever, the killing of Christian is not going to happen. We will save them. We will act fast. President Trump has directed the Department of War, because for those who missed the news, it's not anymore the Department of Defense, that is, as used to be called before, DOJ. It's not anymore the Department of DOD. It's not anymore Department of Defense. They changed it to the name of Department of War to prepare for military intervention if Nigerian government fails to bring the Fulani terrorists to justice within a designated period. That's the news you want to hear. You want to hear a news of a leader who says, we're going to take action, not one day, we're going to take action now. If the Nigerian government fails to bring the Fulani terrorists to justice within a designated period, they'll be facing consequences. Nigeria, you're being called to school. The principal's office. Nigeria, it's time to come and face the music. Enough is enough. Let me show you these official images. Trump's statement on Nigeria. Let's put this on screen. What does this really mean? Christianity is facing existential threats in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I'm hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. But that is the least of it. When Christians or any such group is slaughtered like it's happening in Nigeria, 3.100 versus 4.476 worldwide, something must be done. I'm asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House of Appropriation Committee, to immediately look into this matter. Show us the next picture just to move forward, because also it just signifies what is happening. This decision that the President of the United States made against Nigeria. If Nigeria governments continue to allow the killing of Christians, the U.S. will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into the now disgraced country. Oh my God. Guns are blazing to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. I am hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorists. Thugs attack our cherished Christians, warning the Nigerian government better move and move fast. You hear the way a president talks, y'all? This is how a president speaks. He speaks with tenacity, with power. He roars like a lion. He's not ashamed of his word. He says it like a minute. You can criticize him, but he has to get results. I'm going to watch closely what Nigeria is going to do in the next couple of days. You see. Because what does it mean for Nigeria? Accountability. What does it mean for the Christian worldwide? Hope. Nigerian government is being held accountable, and the rest of the other country are prosecuting Christians like this, are being also put on a microscope, and hope is coming to many Christians in the country where they're being persecuted. You have to listen to what I'm saying, beloved, because the prayers that we've been praying for is working. God is moving. God is doing something. I'm telling you, when the world stays silent, God raises up a voice. When leaders cower, courage step forward. This isn't just about Nigeria. This is about every nation where Christians are being persecuted. This is about drawing a line in the sand and saying, enough has been enough for a long time ago. Long time ago, enough is enough. Folks, listen, tonight was a bit heavy, but I need you to hear this, yo. I need you to hear, despite how heavy it seems to be tonight, you are not helpless. That if there's any message you're going to get out of the show of tonight, understand that you are not helpless. You are in a country where they are being persecuted. You're facing some type of injustice, some type of pressure. You are not helpless. You are not helpless. Like President Trump said, enough is enough. It's time to take action. Pray, speak up, share this episode, support organization fighting human trafficking and Christian persecution. Or you can just support this organization as we support them anyway. And vote for leaders who prioritize people over politics. Leaders who prioritize nation over skepticism or over likes on social media. Before you go tonight, y'all, I think we have a video about those children that have been rescued. Oh no, actually, no. We already. I just want to end it with the rescue of those children. The video we play in the beginning, all the way in the beginning, about Kash Patel announcing the children who've been rescued. So I'd like us to just play that again. Maybe the first video, probably.
That is Ayaan Hirsi. There's no video about children. I have Gorilla versus Humans.
No, not that one. No, definitely not that one. I just want to play the first video we played announcing Kash Patel. The press conference, yeah, the first video. So I want to play that because I believe it's going to leave us in a hope as we end the show. I want to end with that video. Just show me the video you have. I'll tell you which one. Show me the first video you have.
If you want to invite
no, this one. Play the next one. There you go.
Kilograms of fentanyl is enough to kill 115
So pause it for a minute. Let me just add context, guys. If you just joined the show now, you miss out what we're talking about. This video, it shows you what hope looks like. It shows you when God takes actions. And it shows you where the prayers you pray, God is being answered. This is a video where children that have been missing are being rescued in a greater number. 4,000. Come on, y'all. That's a lot of children. Before we just cue the video.
Americans. Cops are getting after it. The FBI has arrested 19,000 people this year alone. Thanks to President Trump's administrations, that's double than where we were this time last year. And we have also arrested 1,600 people who have committed violent acts against children. 270 of them are human traffickers of children. Mr. President, this is what happens when you have great leadership at the Attorney General with Pam Bondi, your administration's priority of protecting the homeland and protecting American citizens and protecting our children, and the murder rates are plummeting. We are now able to report that the murder rate is on track to be the lowest in U.S. history, in modern recorded U.S. history, thanks to this team behind me and President Trump's priorities. And how do we do it?
There you go, guys. Children rescued. This is how we're supposed to end the show. But before you go, I want to invite you to watch our previous episode. We've covered everything from spiritual deceptions to mental health crisis. Even, listen, every episode is designed to equip you, to strengthen you, to inspire you with truth, so you know how to stand firm. And when the enemy comes like a flood, you know how to stand. For real, for real. And if this show has blessed you, I encourage you to go to support us. Because when you support us, you don't only support this show, but you support other viewers who will receive it. Because the more content we'll be creating, it's going to be beneficial even to you at the end of the day. So you can find a link in the description on how you can support us. You can buy us a coffee for that matter. So no strings attached at all. It doesn't matter how much you support us with. It will be put to use in a very amazing way. Listen, y'all, I just want to pray right now. Take a moment to just pray. Because this show today was not really that interactive because we are sharing such a load of information. So I just want to pray that the peace of the Lord that surpasses all understanding will dwell over you. You can be in a situation where you're losing hope, in the situation where you're dealing with something in your heart. So my prayer is, may God Almighty, the King of Glory, touches you, wherever you are. May God just mend your heart, bring healing where is needed. May God go to the center, to the source, and just knit you back together for his glory. Because I know we're dealing with forces. The Bible says we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but principality and rulers in the higher places. May your mind be cleansed from all the shenanigans. May Holy Spirit take center. I pray right now to our precious viewer that the content we share here, they will not bring fear into you, but they will inspire you. They give you a voice back. They will show you that there is hope. Despite the darkness seems to be on top of it all, that God is above and beyond. It's even higher. As He prepares a table before you in the presence of your enemy, I pray that you may dwell in His house forever. For surely His goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life. I pray you that you have an amazing weekend. I pray that you really connect with us again next week, Wednesday. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe again this video. Subscribe to our channel, like this video, share it with friends and family. Help us reach as many people as possible. This content we share, we share for you guys. We share for you guys to be blessed by it, for you guys to be motivated. Don't just be glued into this AI little short you're seeing on the social media nowadays. Many of those people are fake anyway. They are fake news. AI. So don't be deceived. Don't be manipulated. This is Glory from the Glory Today Show and the production team of the Glory Today Show. Stay informed, stay courageous, stay rooted in truth. God loves you, we love you, and Jesus is Lord. And we'll see you next time. My name is Glory, and I approve this message. Bye-bye, Zwai.